Hello, let's do Wordle for Saturday, April 4th. Yesterday we spun the wheel. It said to start with throw, and hopefully you don't throw this game. All gray. Okay, not great. Common letters, SNL. Wouldn't mind a P or something like that at this point. We could do snail or slain. That usually works out pretty well. We still need an E, but I don't really care. Let's do it. All right, well, okay. So there's an A. So it's something like sneak, perhaps. It is not sneak, perhaps. Okay. Did not find either letter. So I'm thinking SAN, Sandy or something like that. I mean, really, there's not much else to do. Let's just do Sandy. I'm not seeing like an obvious other answer. Okay. Cool. That was fast. Slain does tend to work out, doesn't it? Even without having that E. I just made sure to use an E next. All right. Well, any time you've got A second and Y at the end, it's trappy. Because if you lock that in early, you're down to guessing three letters at once, and you're not necessarily going to get an S. Although, I guess with an S in the word, you're more likely to have an S either before you lock in a Y or in your while you're guessing. Even if you don't put the S first, you're probably going to include an S somewhere. So that makes it a little easier. But anyway, before we do anything else, let's spin the members wheel. And I have an announcement, which is you can now add to the wheel if you are a patron. So if you sign up for my Patreon, there is just one tier. It is $3 a month. And I'm going to also start posting my videos to Patreon for those who are sick of the ads. There will be no ads on Patreon. So if you are a patron at that $3 tier, you can watch all of my videos, early access when possible, and no ads. And in addition to that, you will get a word on the Wordle wheel and a bonus game entry on the wheel. And in addition to that, when you sign up for the tier, you can choose to pledge more than the minimum of $3. For every extra $3 you add, you get another Wordle wheel entry up to a total of 5, which will be $15 a month. So feel free to go to Patreon, it's just ranks on there, and check that out. All right. Well, tomorrow we will be starting with Fairy, which is Nikita Cuenz's suggestion. All right. Let's do some analysis. So we start. The answer was Sandy, and we started with throw, and we were in hard mode. Okay, and I was sent a throw analysis. Seems like when it's all gray, it never has time to fully analyze. So I have a fully analyzed version from in my email here. So of course it's taking forever to pull up. All right. So it says the best follow-up is peels. Let's see what it thinks of slain. Slain is, I don't know, maybe 20 down. I don't know how many lines this is. But actually, peels, it says, is the best, followed by slime. That definitely doesn't match these. So I'm going to go with slain here, which is what I did, and then we'll come back and we'll do peels. So after this, there were actually only 3 words: sandy, sauna, and sneak. And sneak was the one not to do. So I actually had sandy and sauna still left. I just didn't think of sauna, so I ended up getting sandy out of luck. So it could have been a 5, but it wasn't going to be a 6. Even if for some reason I guessed sands, I still wouldn't have lost. Would never have guessed sands, though. Anyway. So peels is the best follow-up. From there, we're down to 18 words. We have the A and the S. It's going to go basic. Okay, so move the A here, move the S there. Get the B, get the C. Mostly getting the C and the I think, is the reason for basic. We have 4 words left: saggy, sandy, sauna, savvy. And it says just go for one of them. It doesn't even matter which one. And then you're going to have 2 more after that. So it could get it in 4 to 6. So a little tight there, but not losing. Okay. Tails is its suggested start. with that A and S, we go pansy. So we're going to go right into that A, Y, but we have the S already, so it's really not that big of a deal. And we actually get the N from this, so it can only be sandy. So it gets in 3. Steel is also going to have S and A. It's going to have the S placed, but not the A. We're going to put the A in the middle with scamp. Get that C, get that P. From here, it's going to test the AY with Savoy, which is interesting. Savoy gets savvy as well. It's just slightly better than other options because it also lines up with savvy. Savvy is also just as good. It's because they're so similar to each other. They kind of group up and make it a slightly better because you might get lucky. We're down to saggy, sandy, sassy. And it says just, you're going to have to just go through them. So anywhere from 4 to 6. All right. Adieu is the most common starting word. It's amazing how the placement, steel versus tails, the placement of where we got those letters made a huge difference in the average number of guesses left. There is a D in the word, so a D and audio people are happy. With the D and the A, it actually suggests going darns. With that, which is just sandy in 3. If you don't want to go darns, you're going to go bland. And then from bland, there's literally no suggestions here that isn't a filler. Not on the answer list, and these all reuse a spot for a letter. That's kind of crazy. If we go darns, we get sandy again. So like it really wants darns. I don't know. I don't get a number 11, so I don't know what. We could put an ultra actually. So in ultra, this is the reason. It's really worried about that AY trap, like really worried. So yeah, it's saying in ultra mode, you could go hands and get out of it. But if you don't, if you go for an answer, then you're in the Andy trap, and there's dandy, handy, randy, sandy. And so yeah, you need to get that S is the point. You can get into this Andy trap by accident if you start with a D or audio or things like that, where you aren't getting the S early. You get into this Andy trap and you could lose. Let's look at audio. I wonder how many people end up losing from that. So from audio, it's going to go Delt. From Delt, we're going to go Hardy. And luckily we get that D, but we're still down to Bandy, Body, Candy, and Sandy. So it's saying you could just barely eke it out at 6, but you could also get lucky at 4. Okay, so 4 to 6 of that. I knew that AY was trappy. I forgot that Andy had so many options. Let's look at stare. We are going to get the S, so that's useful. Salvo, sauna, sandy. All right. And Trace tries to get in 2. I doubt it does today. We go salad, sandy. It gets it in 3. That's nice. Especially for this word. And finally, clasp is what the bot starts with. It has the A and the S. We're going to go taser. Another Saleh anagram. And then we could get sandy in 3. Otherwise, we're going to go something like sauna, sandy. Or we're going to go something like Savoy, saggy, sandy. So it's most likely like a 4-ish. Could be 3. Most likely 4. Could be as bad as 5. All right. And that's it. Let's do the official bot analysis now. Grab my screenshot first. So I think 4 is not bad for Sandy, considering what we saw in some of that analysis. The D and audio people aren't going to have the S, and they may not follow up and get an S. And then they get into the Andy trap. So let's see how often that happened. So in hard mode, I gave me an 88 skill. Okay, so throw. People did place, slain, very popular. Clasp, snail, clean, slain. It's this SLANE I keep seeing. Slime is actually a second best option. Should remember that. Plain, plead, isle. It's interesting that slime is better than slain. I think it's just we want to get that E. The E is really important. Sneak was actually a common one. Say some people are going to sandy, somewhere goes sauna. And then from here, I picked the right one. All right. It goes clasp, taser, bangs, sandy. All right. We got a 0.3 getting in 1. 9.1, 45.6. That's a huge jump. Holy moly. 75.3, 88.8 on turn 5, 96.2. Some people lost on sassy. That's a shame. handy, savvy, dandy. So it's all the AY words. Notice we're stuck with AY and we just don't have enough guesses. Even if we have the S first, we just don't have enough guesses a lot of the time. All right, let's see how people did in regular mode. All right. So we'll follow it up throw with place. A lot of people like place there. Plead, spade, plane, adieu, of course. Plane, plank, space, slain, isle. All right. Some people are just in love with adieu. Slate, curvy. So we're doing a filler. Grasp, we're doing another filler. And then sandy. So it's like, oh no, there's a Y at the end. Let's do another filler. Interesting. This S is actually really, really interestingly placed, right? It's not just we're doing grasp and we happen to try S again for no reason. Like that A is a throwaway. We don't get any info from the A, but I think this S we actually get a lot of info because there are words where S is first and then we also end in SY. So that's really interesting. But yeah, it mostly probably wanted that GR and P. All right, 0.4 getting it in 1, 6.9, 39.3. That jump is a lot smaller. 73.2, 88.7, 96.1. All right, pretty similar. People are losing on the same words. That AY, very trappy. Be careful. Cool. Well, how'd you do? And that is it for Wordle. Hope you enjoyed it. There is a link at the end of the video to watch the New York Times games if you'd like. I also have a pinned comment with all the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, want to leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.